Good morning, everyone. This is a very happy, purposeful proclamation. It is an honor to be able to stand here with my colleagues, Councilmember Albornoz and Councilmember Katz, and with the one and only Dr. Jenny Stepanek, Mama Peace, to recognize Peace Day. A lot of folks might tend to think that peace, or when you say you're advocating for peace, you're just advocating for unbridled happiness at all times. And, you know, we're human. That doesn't always happen, right? But the question is, in feeling all of those human things that we do, whether it's frustration or anger or worry or fear, what do we do with that after that? What have we taken the time to teach ourselves, to center ourselves, to be able to take those things that inevitably affect all of us in this world and then channel them for good? Because in peace, there is clarity. In peace, there is purpose. In peace, there is strength. And in peace, there is resilience. Knowing that, and knowing that it takes about 10 weeks to develop new habits, my ask is that to honor and celebrate Peace Day this year, everyone take a little bit of time to say, what could I do that will help me find my peace so that I can be the best me that I can be? Because through that, we have positive community. Through that, we have positive places to be. Through that, we have a better human experience. Now I'd like to turn it over to Councilmember Katz to make some remarks.
Thank you, and thank you, Dawn. You know, it's hard to believe that Mattie would have turned 35 this year. And as time has gone by, we have never forgotten his amazing, and let's underline the word amazing, impact on our community and our world. I did have literally the pleasure of meeting him. Not that I knew him well, and thank goodness I do know his mother well, and she is certainly someone that's kept his life alive. But Mattie grew up like other kids, enjoying games, friends, hobbies, books, but he was born with a rare medical and incurable disease. And at the age of 4, let me say that, at the age of 4, he wrote his first book entitled Heart Songs, and he introduced the concept that each person has a unique purpose within, which was meant to be shared in harmony with others. Mattie was often in the media and was a regular on Oprah and Good Morning America and Larry King Live, and he embraced the media to share his heart song messages of hope, peace, and purpose. During his almost 14 years, he wrote seven New York Times best-selling heart songs, poetry, and peace essays, which provided the message that peace is possible. We're celebrating the 35th birthday of Mattie, J.T. Stepanek, on Thursday, July 17th at the World of Beers in Rockville from 5 to 8 p.m. This is a free event, and it's going to include music, comedy, dancing, and face painting. And please come out and celebrate with us for this extraordinary life. The story that I always remember is that when Susan Hoffman, when she was mayor of Rockville, and they dedicated the Mattie Stepanek park and in King Farm, and she said there was all these black cars that were there, and she looked up and she figured maybe the governor was going to be there. I mean, not that he had told her, but it was Oprah. Oprah came to Rockville to honor Mattie Stepanek because Oprah knows, just like we all know, how important Mattie was to the world. And let me just say one more thing, and I'll stop and turn it over to my friend and colleague, Councilmember Albornoz. But Mattie was certainly very important to all of us in this world. But Jenny, you have taken it all these years, and if there's anything that all of us can agree on, is that we love you. Thank you very much. Mr. Albert.
Well, good morning, good people. It is wonderful to be here today, and hope, peace, and purpose. My goodness, we could use a heck of a lot more than that these days. So I want to tell two brief stories this morning. The first is, and I've shared this before, but I had the tremendous privilege and honor of meeting Mattie and Jenny when I first started out my professional career working for Children's Hospital. And Mattie had a presence. He had this sense of peace all around him. And although obviously he was so young, he provided such an inspiration and hope to everybody that spoke to him, everybody that talked to him, everybody that had the great fortune and privilege to be in his presence. And there's another person who I'd like to uplift and speak about today because he reminds me very much of Mattie, and that is a gentleman who sadly passed away last week, and his name is Tim Strachan. Tim, for those of you that don't know, suffered a tremendous tragedy the summer before his senior year of high school at DeMatha. He was the fourth-ranked quarterback in the country and higher than Peyton Manning at the time, and suffered a spinal cord injury during a terrible incident at Bethany Beach in one of the waves. His life from there moving forward was truly a remarkable inspiration. Tim went on to graduate from the University of Maryland, served as a broadcaster for the University of Maryland football team, graduated from law school at Georgetown University, soared as a public speaker and motivational speaker, and served our country in public service through the FCC. Tim reminds me so much of Mattie because he provided hope and purpose. And so today we celebrate these remarkable individuals, and I also want to echo and thank Jenny for continuing to bring us together, especially in these times of disorientation and challenges and fear. There is so much more good in this world. And so thank you all for being here today. It's important that we gather for events like this. And the last thing I'll mention is this. There is this great ceremony that we all do when we go to Peace Day, and we write a term on a rock that we place somewhere that's meaningful to us. And the term that I have written 3 years in a row now is grace. We all need that right now. We all need to give ourselves grace and this world grace because things will get better. Thank you.
I now want to turn it over to Mama Peace.
Oh, wow. So I could just say thank you because you guys have said so much of what I would have said. Gabe, you're right. There are more good people in this world than we could possibly imagine. People are generally and genuinely good, and we can all be a hero if we choose to just live that way. And Sydney, yes, I feel so loved. Look at all of the people from Main Street, from UCR, from the community who are here, and that's part of peace. And Dawn, you just sold our foundation, okay? Like talking about how we need to pause and understand peace and practice peace and role model peace. That is what we are all about. That's why we do Peace Day every year. Gosh, I don't know if it's harder to believe that Mattie would be turning 35 this year. I mean, he could actually run for president. I don't think he would, okay? Or that he's been gone for 21 years. And I think about all the years he's been gone and all the work that I do and that we do to continue his message. And in that 21 years, we now have Facebook. We now have technology. We now have all kinds of things that did not exist in his lifespan. The way we're fighting is getting horrible. The way we're ignoring people is horrible. The way we're judging is horrible. And that's like a change since he was here. What hasn't changed is what he gave us to navigate through this. What hasn't changed is the need for his message and his guidance. And for anybody not familiar with Mattie, he reminded us that peace does not begin with the end of some war. Peace actually begins within each one of us, as you were saying, within each one of us, when we tend to basic human needs, when we can say, I am okay. I have challenges, I have disagreements, I have disability, whatever, but I'm okay because my basic needs are met and I have purpose. I know that I matter and I know I belong. I mean, that's what this is all about. How wonderful that I live in a place that Mattie and I chose to live. City, county, state, you all choose to celebrate his July 17th birthday as a day of peace. And how nifty is it that Mattie's Foundation gets to throw the party with a purpose every year. And the party is really about coming together and having that conversation, like going beyond your personal table. So when you come to the World of Beer on Thursday, it's not about just hunkering down and not losing your seat. It's about interacting and having a conversation and finding out who your neighbor is. And the really nifty thing is this year, in addition to rocks and mosaic and T-shirts and all the stuff we typically do, we're actually going to pause the party about halfway through and have a global toast to peace in Mattie's honor. We have people around the world who are all going to be on a Zoom screen. Please, technology gods, smile upon me, okay? Okay. But we're going to connect, and we're going to raise a glass of grateful hands and put that peace that we know is possible into the universe, all right? Peace always matters. But in today's world, pausing to think about what is peace for me, what choices can I make, what choices can my community make, my family, my government, what choices can we make? That's where we need to put our energy and focus. So please come to Peace Day on Thursday, 5 to 8 at World of Beer. If you have relatives in a country or a state that want to join us by Zoom, message me, okay? And I'll send you the link. Thank you.
For anyone who's struggling to find that peace, I note there's always a container filled with quotes, Mattie's quotes. And every year I take one. And every year I slip it into a different spot. So I have one up here in my desk on the dais. I have one at home on my desk there. I have one in my nightstand. So I think if you are struggling to find that and find that inspiration, come see us Thursday night. I'll be there. I think everybody up here is going to be there. My mom and dad will be there. And so come and join us and celebrate community and celebrate peace. And with that, we're going to proceed with our proclamation. Come on up. The County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland, whereas Mattie J.T. Stepanek was a best-selling teen poet, humanitarian, and peace activist from Montgomery County who, in his nearly 14 years of life, inspired people around the world with his message of hope, compassion, and peace through his heart songs, poetry, and vision of community as a mosaic of gifts, needs, and differences. And
whereas, despite living with a rare and fatal neuromuscular condition, and I will not pronounce this correctly, known as diastematic mitronodal myopathy, Mattie remains steadfast in his belief that peace is possible, using his voice and platform to advocate for understanding, kindness, and the power of choosing peace, even in the face of personal difficulty. And got it.
Whereas Mattie is remembered as a poet, a peacemaker, and philosopher who played and made a difference to millions of people through his writings, TV appearances, and music albums, as well as for being a deeply spiritual young man who believed peace can be taught and begins with deliberate choices in attitude and action. And
whereas Mattie Stepanek Peace Day has been recognized at the local, state, and national levels, including by the Montgomery County Council, State of Maryland, and the City of Rockville, and 3 U.S. congressional resolutions, and brings together residents of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds for a party with a purpose that includes thoughtful dialogue, inclusive entertainment, and peace-building activities. And
whereas Mattie's legacy lives on through the Mattie Stepanek Foundation, which continues his mission of promoting peace through education, recreation, and conversation, and which coordinates an annual Peace Day celebration to mark his birthday and honor his message of peace, purpose, and play. And
whereas Montgomery County is proud to be home of Mattie's life and legacy and recommits itself to being a community where peace, inclusion, and empathy are nurtured and celebrated.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland hereby recognizes July 15th as Mattie Stepanek Peace Day, and be it further resolved that the county encourages all residents, schools, organizations, and businesses to reflect on Mattie's enduring message that peace is possible and to join in this annual celebration of personal and community peace through acts of kindness, connection, and joy. Presented on this 15th day of July in the year 2025, signed by myself, Councilmembers Katz and Albornoz, and President Kate Stewart.